can start, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Can you hear you, Prabhu?
I can hear you, Prabhuji. I think Alana Prabhu has some issues with his audio.
Can you hear Hare Krishna? Yes, Mataji. Alarnath Prabhu, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, just you can get started now.
Should we start, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjansalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjansalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Sri Chaitanya Manavishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayambhu Kada Mahim Dadati Swapadantikam Vande Sri Guru Sri Utpadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishravanshya Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagaragnatham Tam Sajeevam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijan Sahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Savanalita Sri Visakhantansya He Krishna Karura Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Sri Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Sri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Om Mancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Om Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are going to read from Canto 3, Chapter 5, verse 44. So the Chapter 5 here is Vidurji's talk with Maitreyaji. So Maitreyaji is, Vidurji is asking question, and Maitreyaji is answering. And Maitreyaji is classmate of Vyasji. So Vyasji's father taught both Maitreji and Vyasji. Parasar, both were Parasarji's disciples. Maitreji's classmate of Vyasji and disciple of Parasarji, who is father of Vyasji. So this is the introduction, how Vidurji asking question, and Maitreji is answering. Here is one. O Vidura, all glories unto you. You have inquired from me of the greatest of all goodness, and thus you have shown your mercy both to the world and to me, because your mind is always absorbed in thoughts of transcendence, thoughts of the transcendence. So that's the praise of Maitreji for Vidurji's question. And here Maitreji explains all this, how the creation happened, you can see here. And then he says that the controlling deities of all above mentioned physical elements are empowered by expansions of Lord Vishnu. So Maitreji explains how everything was produced here, and then they are embodied by eternal time under the energy, eternal external energy, and they are his parts and parcels. So everything comes from Krishna, because they were interested with different functions of universal duties and were unable to perform them. They offered fascinating prayers to the Lord as follows. So here it starts with the prayers of demigods to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here demigod said, this is the prayers by demigods to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Verse 46, I would read. I'm going to read. Panen te deva katha sudhaya.
पानेन ते देव कथा सुधाय
Prabhritta bhaktya visadasayame ye.
प्रवृत्त भक्त्या विशदास्यामि
विशदास्यामि
Vairagya saram pratilabdya bodham.
वैराग्यसारं प्रतिलभ्य बोधम्
Yatha jasanvi yurakuntadishrim.
यथा
यथा
सान्ध्योऽकुण्ठदिष्वाम्
Anyone else can recite?
पानेन ते देवकथा सुधायाः
पानेन ते देवकथा सुधाया
प्रवृद्ध भक्त्या विशदाश्रयाये
प्रवृद्धभक्त्या विशदाश्रयाये
वैराग्यसारं प्रतिलभ्य बोधम्
वैराग्यसारं प्रतिलभ्य
बोधम्
यथाञ्जसन्वियुरकुण्ठदिष्णम्
यथाञ्जसान्वियुरकुण्ठदेष्ण्यम् पानेन ते देवकथा सुधाया
पानेन ते देवकथा सुधाया
प्रवृद्धभक्त्या विशदाश्रयाये
प्रवृद्धभक्त्या विशदाश्रयाये
वैराग्यसारं प्रतिलभ्य बोधम्
वैराग्यसारं प्रतिलभ्य बोधम्
यथाञ्जसान्वियुरकुण्ठदेष्ण्यम्
यथाञ्जसान्वियुरकुण्ठदिष्णम्.
पानेन ते देव कथा शुधाय
पानेन ते
देवकथासुधाय
प्रवृद्ध भक्त्या विशदाशयाये
प्रवृद्धभक्त्या विशदाशयाय
विशदाशयाय
वैराग्यसारं प्रतिलभ्य बोधम्
वैराग्यसारं प्रतिलभ्य बोधम्
यत्नाञ्जस्नाव्युरकुण्ठदिष्ण्यम्
यत्नाञ्जस्नान्वियुरकुण्ठदिष्ण्यम्
So now we'll read word by word meaning. Pranena.
पानेन
Sorry. Panena.
पानेन
By drinking.
by
by
drink
drinking
They of you.
they
they
of
of you
Deva.
Deva,
O Lord.
O Lord
Katha.
Katha
Topics.
topics
Sudhaya.
Sudhaya
Of the nectar.
of the
of the nectar
Prabridha.
Prabhupada
Highly enlightened.
highly enlightened
Bhaktya.
Bhaktya
Bhaktya
By devotional service.
by
by
devotional service
Visadasaya.
Vishadashaya
With a greatly serious attitude.
with a greatly serious attitude
Ye.
Ye
Those who. Vairagya Saram.
Vairagya Saram
The entire purport of renunciation.
the entire purport of renunciation
Pratilabhya.
Pratilabhya
Achieving.
achieving
Bodham.
Bodham
Intelligence.
intelligence
Yatha.
Yatha
As much as.
as much as
Anjasa.
Anjasa
Quickly.
quickly
Anviyu.
Anviyu
Achieve.
achieve
Akuntha Dhisnyam.
Akunta Dishnyam
Vaikuntha Loka in the spiritual sky.
Vaikuntha
Vaikuntha
Loka
Loka in the spiritual sky.
Now I'll read translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. O Lord, persons who, because of their serious attitude, attain the stage of enlightened devotional service, achieve the complete meaning of renunciation and knowledge, and attain the Vaikuntha Loka in the spiritual sky simply by drinking the nectar of your topics. One more time, O Lord, persons who, because of their serious attitude, attain the stage of enlightened devotional service, achieve the complete meaning of renunciation and knowledge, and attain the Vaikuntha Loka in the spiritual sky simply by drinking the nectar of your topics. Wow. This is great verse. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharde Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatari. So now we'll read purport given by His Divine Grace, ISKCON founder Acharya A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The difference between the impersonalistic mental speculators and the pure devotees of the Lord is that the former pass through a measurable understanding of the absolute truth at every stage. So impersonalistic people pass through a measurable understanding of the absolute truth at every stage, whereas the devotee enter into the kingdom of all pleasures even from the beginning of their attempt. Wow, this is great. The devotee has to hear about devotional activities, which are as simple as anything in ordinary life. And he should act very simply, whereas the mental speculator has to pass through a jugglery of words, which are partially facts and partially a make-how for the maintenance of an artificial impersonal status. In spite of his strenuous efforts to attain perfect knowledge, the impersonalist attains merging into the impersonal oneness of the Brahma Jyoti of the Lord, which is also attained by the enemies of the Lord simply by their being killed by him. The devotee, however, attains the highest stage of knowledge and renunciation and achieve the Vaikuntha Lokas, the planets in the spiritual sky. The impersonalist attains only the sky and does not achieve any tangible transcendental bliss, whereas the devotee attains the planets where real spiritual life prevails. With a serious attitude, the devotee throws away all achievements like so much dust, and he accepts only devotional service, the transcendental culmination. Wow, this is very good verse. So let's read again translation. O Lord, persons who, because of their serious attitude, attain the stage of enlightened devotional service, achieve the complete meaning of renunciation. Wow. So that means the complete meaning of renunciation is very difficult to understand. And knowledge and attain the Vaikuntha Loka in the spiritual sky simply by drinking the nectar of your topics. Wow, very good. Very simple to do, but let's see how Prabhupada is telling us and explaining to us. So Prabhupada starts with the difference between the impersonalistic mental speculators and the pure devotees of the Lord is that the former is comparing impersonalistic people and devotees. And the former will be the impersonalistic people pass through a miserable understanding of the absolute truth. That's very true. That they don't understand at every stage. Yeah, either in the beginning or at the mature stage, they are very miserable. Whereas the devotee enter into the kingdom of all pleasure, even from the beginning of their attempt. Yeah, this is true. As we see and read glories of bhakti, doing devotional service, we feel pleasure because of our connection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. And even in our day-to-day dealing, we can understand this, that we go do some work for people who are rich, and that's how we get money. That's how we get wealth. Someone working for wealthy people, they get wealth from those people. So they say time is money. They spend time with them, they do their service, and then those people, those companies, they give money, wealth in return. So people say time is money. The same thing here applies when we think that what do we want? We want pleasure. So when we are child, we get pleasure in drinking mother's milk and sleeping. So that's pleasure. When we little bit grow up, then we seek pleasure in toys, how to play, and then when we further grow up, we need bigger toy, we need bicycle, we need, then we seek pleasure in all the other worldly activities, and then we get married. We see pleasure, men see pleasure in women, women see pleasure in men, and then we produce, after marriage, we produce children. So then we seek pleasure in children. And then when they grow up, then we seek pleasure in their children. That's our grandchildren. But we never get the real pleasure. We never get ananda, because we search for ananda or pleasure in a wrong place. Like, so we have to see now, after reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam under the guidance of Prabhupada and Prabhupada's disciples, we know that Krishna is made of Sachidananda. His body is not like our body. He is made of Satta, Chitta, Ananda. Satta means truth. Chitta means knowledge. And Ananda. So Krishna's body, Krishna is made of these three things. Sachidananda. That's why he is called Sachidananda Vigraha. Anadiradir Govindam Sarva Karanam Karanam. Iswara Paramah Krishnam. Iswara Paramah Krishna. Sachidananda Vigraha. Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karanam Karanam. So we make Vigraha. We make Vigraha of Krishna or any demigod using wood, using metal, using stone. The same way, Krishna's Vigraha is made of Sachidananda. Brahmaji says in Brahma Samhita that Iswara Parama Krishna, Parama Iswara, the ultimate controller is Krishna. Iswara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha. And how his body is made of? His body is made of Sachidananda, Satta, Chitta, and Ananda. Root, knowledge, and Ananda. So that's how we get knowledge that the reservoir of pleasure is Krishna, because Krishna's body is made of pleasure, and if we want Ananda, if we want pleasure, we need to approach someone who has lots of pleasure. Like here we approach every day. Prabhuji asked me, Ganapat Govind Prabhuji asked me, can you give Bhagavad Gita class? I said, no, Prabhuji, I go to work and I come late. So that's where we are. So we seek pleasure in money. And here Prabhupada says that when we become devotee, we get pleasure from the very beginning. So how we get pleasure from the very beginning? Because we approach Krishna with the devotional service, and Krishna is made of pleasure. So he gives pleasure little by little. The amount of efforts that we put in, we get in return. So that in that way we can understand. It's not just saying with word, we can understand it scientifically. The devotee has only to hear about devotional activities. Wow. So here we even don't have to do devotional service. We have to hear only about devotional service, which are as simple as anything in ordinary life. Yeah, we hear about everything, all the nonsense. I don't hear news now. And he also acts very simply, whereas we have to act very simply, whereas the mental speculators has to pass through jugglery of words. Yeah, because they're trying to prove that Krishna is impersonal. He has no body. So it's a great offense. Bhagavan Krishna says in Gita, in Bhagavad Gita, that this path is very troublesome. And here Prabhupada is saying, on the basis of those evidences, that mental speculator has to pass through a jugglery of words, which are partially facts. Some of them are correct, but partially make so for the maintenance of an artificial impersonal status. So they're trying to make artificial impersonal status of the Supreme. So they say that Krishna is impersonal. He has no body, like we see in his vigraha or in photographs. And Prabhupada used the word jugglery of words. So they try to twist words. I mentioned sometime, once I went to a spiritual discourse at Yale University. I was very interested in the beginning. So let's see what they are discussing. So someone was discussing on Skype from Canada that Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam Moodhamati. And then I heard like 3-4 minutes, and then I knew that he took out the word Govinda from this stotra written by Shankaracharya. So Shankaracharya means in this bhajan that O Mudha, O rascal people of this world, Bhaj Govinda, chant Govinda, serve Govinda. Govinda, who is Govinda? Govinda is Krishna. But that guy sitting in somewhere, he was making people impersonal by just twisting the word Govinda by some other nonsense meaning. Then I left the class. Then I realized that these people are misguiding all the people. Last night I had a conversation with one of my you can say cousin. He's my cousin. He's like 10 years younger to me, and he's from my village in India. And I know him. We are connected. We have each other's phones, so sometimes we talk. He comments on someone whose teaching is contrary to the personal teachings of Krishna. Then I asked him how much he knows, and then I spoke to him about an hour. And then he told that what he knows is the impersonalistic mental speculators. So he is impersonalistic mental speculators. That's the association he is right now. But as Prabhupada is saying here, that most of their, so he also here, which are partially facts. So for 1 hour, he was telling me all those facts. But when I told him to explain some of the science behind all those facts, he was unable to do it. And ultimately, I find out that he is from the impersonal people's group. So this is true. We can see partially, and then they work hard to partially makes so for the maintenance of an artificial impersonal status, because Krishna never approved that. In spite of his strenuous effort to attain perfect knowledge, the impersonalist attains merging into impersonal oneness of the Brahma Jyoti of the Lord. That's where he can go. As we discussed different time, Brahmaji explained all these, the status of where the Vaikuntha Loka is, where the Golok Vrindavan is, and how Krishna's body emits effulgence, and that's where they see in the middle, before starting the material world. The material world is like bubble, and all the spiritual world. So we can say material world exists as a bubble here and there in the spiritual sky. So if we see cross section of the local area, we see Krishna in the Vaikuntha Loka, in the Golok Vrindavan, and then from his body lights are coming, and then we see at the junction of material world and spiritual world, we see the Brahma Jyoti. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that Brahmano hi pratisthaham. So I am the basis of that Brahma Jyoti, which is also attained by the enemies of Lord simply because of their being killed by him. So whoever is getting killed by Krishna or his incarnations, they merge into that Brahma Jyoti or in the body of Krishna. So the devotee, however, attains the higher stage of knowledge. I believe we all know a lot of these. If anyone have any question regarding that, they can ask at the end. Here, however, devotee attains highest stage of knowledge. So, and renunciation, that's what is said in this verse. And achieve the Vaikuntha Loka, the planets in the planet in the spiritual sky, just by doing this, just by doing devotional service, just by becoming a devotee. So Prabhupada says highest stage of knowledge. So what is the highest stage of knowledge? Whatever Krishna said from his mouth, that is the highest stage of knowledge. He insisted to Brahmaji and others who he gave knowledge that this is the highest stage of knowledge. And what is that knowledge? Is Bhagavad Gita. Whatever Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavad Mahapurana or anywhere in the Vedic history, either in Puranas, different Puranas, and such. So what is the highest stage of knowledge? That jnana is called Sambandha Jnana. And Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita, he says that Sarvajoni Sukaunteya Aham Bij Pradapita. He said, I am the father of all living entities. So that is 8,400,000 types of species are there in this material world. And Krishna is father of each of them. So that is the Sambandha Jnana. That is the highest stage of knowledge. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Ji is saying that Bhumirapavan Lobayu Khangmano Buddhirevacha Ahankaram Itiyam Te Bhinna Prakirtirastada. He said, these are my eightfold separated energy. What are those? Bhumi, Apa, Anala. Bhumi means soil, earth. Apa means water. Anala means fire. Bhumi Apavan Lobayu. Bayu means air. Khang. Khang is sky. All the empty space is Khang. And then these five are Krishna's separated energy, and then three more. Khang, Mana, Buddhi, Evacha, Ahankaram. Mana, Buddhi, and Ahankar. Mana is mind, Buddhi is intelligence, and Ahankara is false ego, that I am this body. So we think that I am this body, that's Ahankara. False ego. So these all eight are Krishna's energy. Not only that, we have a soul. So these are the 8 elements are there in our body. And there are other like 25 elements. like 5 Gyanendriya, 5 Karmendriya, and then 5 sense objects, 5 greater elements, that 20, and then mind, intelligence, false ego, and then soul and super soul. So now we covered all the senses. So we are up to 20, and then we have 3 more: mind, intelligence, and false ego. Krishna said these are mine. So nothing belongs to us. Then let's hear about soul. Krishna says that Mamaivanso Jivaloke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana Manasasthani Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karsati. He says all the jiva, all the living entities are my part and parcel. So he's talking about our soul. So our soul is a fraction, a tiny fraction of Krishna's body. That's what is Mamaivanso. Ansa. Ansa means a part of whole. That's ansa. Like if I cut little bit, tiny bit of skin here with a nail cutter, you know, that skin is part of my finger, was part of my finger. That's what it means. That's what the answer is. So if Krishna is big and we are tiny and we are part from his body, part of his body. So our soul is also Sachidananda and we are part of Krishna. And she says, I am the Father. So that is the highest stage of knowledge. But nobody told us until we came in contact with Prabhupada. No one told this highest knowledge, stage of knowledge. Not like the one colleague, the cousin of mine who I spoke an hour just to know that he is impersonalist. And he was telling big chaupai from Tulsidas ji. But he didn't know who Rama is, who Krishna is. It's very bad situation. And then here Prabhupada says he knows the highest state of knowledge and renunciation. So now, so we know that nothing in this body, whatever is there, nothing belongs to us. So what is the point of renunciation? We say, I renounce this one, I renounce this one. No, we don't renounce anything. Nothing belongs to us. Even this body doesn't belong to us. You know, I was in the hospital yesterday and I was doing something and that lady was 80 years old. And she was saying, oh, is there something ruining my hair? See, she cares about her hair, but even, you know, this body is not about us, ours, doesn't belong to us. So what to talk about hairs and nails? We care about these things so much, even at that mature age, because of the ignorance. We don't know anything. And so renunciation, so we know the real meaning of renunciation and knowledge. So we cannot renounce anything because we don't have anything. Nothing belongs to us. Corona taught us a lot. Many people died and they left all their wealth here. And then they also left their cars, their precious, costly clothing, and they also left their body here. So they nothing took with them, but they don't know. We don't know. That's what how much in ignorance we are. So once we do bhakti, once we become devotee, we know the real highest stage of knowledge, and we know what is the renunciation is, and achieve the Vaikuntha Loka. And thereby, after doing this, then we achieve Vaikuntha Loka and the planets in the spiritual, sky, and then we never come back. Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita, he describes his loka that na tadbhasayate surjo na sasanko na pavaka jadgatva na nivartante tadhama paramamama. So Krishna advertises Vaikuntha Loka. Hey Arjuna, come to Vaikuntha Loka. And how does it look? Na tadbhasayate surjo na sasanko na pavaka. Na tadbhasayate. To illuminate, we don't need sun and moon there. na tadvasayate surjo na sasanko na pavaka. And Prabhupada, pavaka means agni, fire. Prabhupada translate it as electricity. So either electricity or fire, we don't need there. And Jat Gatvanini Vartante Tadham Paramama. Whoever comes there, they never come back to this miserable place. So that's the spiritual sky. The impersonalist attains only the sky. They are hanging there. They come back. They fall down. And that's all told by the demigods in Bhagavad Mahapurana as a prayers. And does not achieve any tangible transcendental bliss. And then they don't attain any bliss because they are not connected. They are somewhere in the middle. They are somewhere in the middle. So whereas the devotee attains to the planets where real spiritual happiness, spiritual life prevails. That's where we are going to live once we go to the Vaikuntha. There is a blissful life. Krishna said that what is jnana in 13th chapter? He says, Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha dosanu darsanam. So what is jnana? Knowledge. It's not knowledge, then we are able to connect over the Zoom using our laptops and iPhones. The knowledge is that whatever the degree we get, that's not knowledge. The knowledge is 4 things. Krishna said, among others, Krishna listed more than 24 items there in verses 8 to 13 in chapter 13. He says, so those 4 people quote, Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha dosanu darsanam. So we have to see dukkha. We have to see misery in these 4 things. So these are the only 4 miseries in this material world. What is those? What are those? Janma, taking birth. Mrityu, dying, is misery. We see in the hospital every day. And then jara, the old age. And then vyadhi is the disease. We all scientists, we are trying to get solution, discover, invent new things to overcome diseases, but no, we cannot. And we see there are so many diseases we know now. So we cannot solve these 4 problems. So we make other things problem, little, small problems. And we try to solve this. Oh, I am the manager, I am a scientist, I am a philosopher, I am a historian, I am a teacher, I am this, I am that, I am a computer engineer, I am a mechanic or whatever. So we make all those little small problems, but because we cannot solve these 4 problems. I think in the beginning it was very clear. Even in English language, we say my nose, my eyes, my head. So where am I? It's very clear, but nobody pays attention to it. I am the soul in the earth. And some people say, oh, you are very good soul. So they talk factually, but unless they read Prabhupada's book, they don't know, because nobody has tried to explain so clearly, to give the message to all the ignorant people. With a serious attitude, a devotee throws away all achievements, like so much dust. Like we have so much dust covered, we throw all the dust in the bathroom, and then we take bath, and then we clear all the dust, then we become fresh. That's why I say, oh, I'm going to become fresh. Can I go be fresh? So that's what I do. So a devotee throws away all achievements. All achievement that we have, a devotee just throws it, because nothing belongs to us. Like dust, like we throw the dust, and he accepts only devotional service. That is the only factual thing. That is the only truth. Krishna says that man manabhav madbhakto majjaji mam namaskuru. Krishna says, become my devotee. That's the essence. Whatever Krishna says is the essence. The transcendental culmination. That is the transcendental culmination. He says, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam braja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mukchayisyami masucha. That's what we be afraid of. We don't do papa, we do punya, we do good thing. We become a devotee. But Krishna says both are bad. Just do whatever you do it for me. He says that yat karosi yad asnasi yad juhosi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tad kuru samadarpanam. He said, whatever you do it for me. Mada arpanam. Do it for me. Arpan karo. Mujhe arpan karo. Give it to me. Do it for me. Whatever. Yat karosi. Whatever you do. Yat karosi. Yad asnasi. Whatever you eat. What yat karosi yad asnasi yad juhosi. Whatever you do jagya. What kind of jagya you? Yad juhosi. Dadasiyat. Whatever you donate. Dadasiyat. Yat pasyati. Whatever you see. Pasyasi. Whatever you see. Yat pasyasi kaunteya. Hey Arjuna. O Arjuna. Yat pasyasi kaunteya. Tad kurusya madarpanam. Do it as an offering to me. Whenever we do it for us, we are getting bound. When we do it for Krishna, Krishna knows it's not my fault. So that's how we can follow Krishna's word, and we can understand this with the mercy of Prabhupada and his disciples, and we can make our life successful. I can read one more time the translation. Oh Lord, and these are not ordinary people. These are like demigods. These are like very close to the close associates of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. They are demigods. They are praying. Oh Lord, persons who, because of their serious attitude, attain the stage of enlightened devotional service, achieve the complete meaning of renunciation and knowledge, and attain the Vaikuntha Loka in the spiritual sky simply by drinking the nectar of your topics. So it's so simple. Let's do it and make our life successful. Any comments and questions? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Mataji. Now we have 11 minutes for any comments and questions. I think it was.
So
Yes,
this verse is saying that it is really so much easier going to Vaikuntha Loka, just listening to Krishna's nectarian topics, than trying to do dry.
Yeah, try to twist out
impersonalism. Yes.
Yeah, try to cut your nose like this. You just have to press like this. But we try to pose like that, twist. I'm doing so work hard, and that's how we made this word, and that's how we go for so much education, so much hard work, just for breads, nothing else.
And it's so much easier and so much pleasurable, just to listen to Krishna Katha.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's very scientific. It's going to do unimaginable transformation in our heart. And it gives us so much pleasure that there is nothing substance around. I was in Toronto Temple, and they pasted it. Some scientist, so his idea. He said that atoms are not substance. That's what he wrote. Atoms are not substance, and we know that everything is made of atom, but atom is empty. All the electron, protons, protons and neutrons are in the nucleus, and then electron is revolving all around, all over the nucleus, and most of the 99% is empty. So where is the substance? Where is the matter? It's all spirit. And I always give example. I knew about 7, 8 years back, I knew that there is a big problem in physics, that proton spins like a tabletop, the lattu. So it spins on its axis, and it's also precise like Earth does. So scientists are trying to understand that where protons get energy, its energy for that spin all the time. Everywhere there is a proton in air, and those protons are spinning all the time. So who gives energy to those protons? And it says in Brahma Samhita, Andantarastha Paramadu Chayantarastham. Brahmaji says, Andantarastha Paramadu Chayantarastham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship Govinda, Bhagavan Krishna, who is in every in Brahmanda as Garbhodaksai Vishnu, and who is in every particle, every Paramadu. The part Paramadu came there. And then I don't know how Western people got that, idea of atom. In Hindi we call Paramadu, like couple hundred years back. But this Brahma Samhita is existing since eternity in the Sanatana Dharma. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought that book, Brahma Samhita chapter 5 from South India. So at least we know for the last 500 years, but we don't accept. That's how much, we twist, we are all brothers, but we twist for our own benefit because of our, incomplete understanding. Yeah. Anything else, Mataji?
No, thank you. That was really nice. But
yeah,
it stresses it so beautifully that sometimes we don't want to take the more easier, pleasurable path.
Yes, yeah. We try to do this and that, and I mean, we have to see, like we look for the pleasure, but we don't see who is more happy. So yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for a wonderful class. This is my first Saturday class, actually. And when I dialed in at 7:45, I'm like, okay, this class is not getting started. I dropped a couple of times and I came back, and I'm glad I came back and listened to your class. Thank you so much. I just wanted to say thank you so much. That's it.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for hearing. Yeah, we always get wisdom when we hear Krishna Katha. Yeah. We read from Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, and we discuss all this.
We have many classes. You can join so many of our classes, Pritish Prabhu.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have to do anything. Just open the phone and we start hearing whatever we are doing, we continue to do. When I take train to my work, I hear on my phone in my extra time, I chant. In that way, we are blissful to get pleasure, because during those times, we are connected with the Supreme, like Prabhupada explains here.
Yeah, and once in a while, if I miss it and I'm doing something else, that other activity seems like so useless.
Yeah, yes, Mataji. Yeah. That's the way we should think, and we should do practice. One of my colleagues, he said, "Oh, you look very calm." So I said, "Well, is it true? They say, oh, you look very happy. So I said, so if we are not agitated, and I mean, what can we achieve here? People are, going here and there, but whatever Prabhupada said makes sense. Whatever Krishna says makes sense. We can test that. And if it is true, we find, we accept it. We do it, we practice it. Like here, all the demigods are saying that we just have to do a simple thing, just here, and that will do the dust. And it's all everywhere explained that, just here. Krishna said, become my devotee, that's it. So all we need to do that. But I mean, this is material world, so we need some money to live. Not a lot. If we make a society like that, like Prabhupada was trying to establish Varnashram Dharma and all the, like if we go to ISKCON temple, we get prasadam. We get nice prasadam. We get nice vegetarian, karma-free food that we don't get anywhere in New York City or in Hartford. Whatever the food we get, either it's contaminated, or it has violence in it. But here we offer everything to Krishna, and then it becomes sinless. It becomes prasada. So it's so pleasurable. But we don't do it. But once we hear it multiple times, we do it, because whatever we heard is hardwired in our brain. So we have to first get rid of those with an open mind, and then we have to put everything, all the knowledge in. That makes sense. Any other comments or questions? If not, we can end here, right, Mataji? I think it's time. We're close to 1 hour, 59 minutes, 30 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a nice class. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, when we hear all the verses.
I know, we don't want to stop actually. I wish I could go on for another year, another hour.
Yes.
But we do have other things to do.
Yeah. Okay, Mataji.
Okay.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Alarnath Prabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna, everyone.